This is what I deem to be the 10 most important things that you should know before you visit Thailand. Make sure you stick around to the very end. I have an extremely important bonus tip that I'm going to give you guys. Number 1, vaccines. And I'm not talking about your 26th booster shot. I'm talking about things like the typhoid and the hepatitis vaccines. The CDC recommends that you get the typhoid vaccine, which is to avoid foodborne illnesses, which we don't want any of those. The hepatitis A and B vaccines also prevent against food and waterborne illnesses. If you're in an area where there's going to be a lot of mosquitoes, they recommend getting the Japanese encephalitis vaccine. So areas that are more rural, outside the city, probably outside the area near Chiang Mai, you're probably going to want to get the Japanese encephalitis vaccine because we don't want that. But speaking of foodborne illnesses, that brings us to number 2. I highly recommend taking probiotics a couple of weeks before coming to Thailand, and even taking them well in Thailand. In combination with the hepatitis vaccines, we do not want any foodborne illnesses. When we go to Thailand and we have our first meal nice and spicy, they use a lot of oil when they cook, we do not want to get sick, because if you get food poisoning, you're going to be out of the count for at least a day, even 2 days. And if you only have a week or 2 of your trip, that's a good chunk of your trip ruined, that you're gonna be stuck to the toilet and might even have to go to the hospital because you're sick. So some people say you might not need probiotics. I personally would advise it, just because anything that can help prevent that, might as well. Probiotics only cost like 10 bucks. Might as well take them. The food in Thailand, they have a lot of different things that they cook with that our stomachs aren't used to digesting, as well as cooking with a lot of oil and a lot of spice. So in general, anything to avoid getting sick, I'm taking it. Number 3, the international driver's permit. If you want to rent a car, or in most places you're gonna want to rent a motorbike, a little moped. In Phuket, Pattaya, pretty much everywhere other than Bangkok, a lot of people rent mopeds. They're really cheap too. They're normally only about $6 to $9 a day. Now, technically, legally, you should have your international driver's permit with an endorsement that says that you can drive a motorcycle. And I know most people don't have that. I don't, even though I drive motorcycles. So what do we do? In most cases, the police aren't going to bother you as long as you're wearing a helmet, and it's good to have the international passport anyways, if you're going to be driving one of those. But there are certain areas where they do and don't care as much, and they will and will not try and fine you. So if you're in Phuket, as long as you're wearing a helmet, you probably won't get pulled over. But if you do, chances are, as long as you have your international driver's permit, you might not get any issues. But if the cop is a stickler, they might try and get some money from you. So always carry around like 15 bucks, 30 bucks on the side that you might have to bribe a police officer with. As long as you have that, you won't get in any trouble. Important tip number 4. Important apps that you're gonna wanna download before you arrive in Thailand are gonna be Bolt and Grab. Those are basically the Uber and Lyft of Thailand. Bolt is cash only. If you use Bolt to get from the airport to your hotel, it's gonna be about $8 to $10 versus paying a taxi. It's probably gonna be closer to 50 bucks. So Bolt is cash only, Grab is card only. So Grab is a little bit more expensive than Bolt, but they also do food delivery as well. Foodpanda is the main food delivery app for Thailand. You can get incredible meals, coffee, whatever you'd like delivered right to your hotel or condo, wherever you're staying. And they have often deals, coupons, free delivery. It's amazing. You can get whatever you wanted delivered for super cheap. And the last app you're probably gonna wanna have is Airlo, but I'll get into that in just a minute. Next up at number 5, getting money. When you first arrive to the airport, getting money is going to be the first thing that you're probably going to want to do. So there's currency conversion stations and ATMs available to you. The ATMs normally have like a $5 to $10 fee, and then also don't have the best of conversion rate. Also the conversion stations, they're going to charge you a lot of money. Well, the conversion rate is just not the best. I found what has a 0 fee and a really good conversion rate. So instead of paying $5 or $10 every time you go to the ATM and losing money on the conversion rate, what you're gonna wanna do is, if the area that you're going to be staying in has one, go to Western Union. I was always kind of sketched out by Western Union because I know that's what they always say, to send thousands of dollars to the African prince because you're actually their heir. They want to send you 4,000 pounds of diamonds, but none of that. I just downloaded Western Union. I saw there was one in the mall. I figured this out when I actually left my ATM card inside the ATM machine, which was the only time I used an ATM the entire time in Thailand. Of course, I left my card in the machine. So I Western Unioned myself $1,000. and there was 0 fee, and the conversion rate was basically the exact same as what it is when you Google the conversion rate. So best rates around. If you can, go to Western Union. And it was pretty simple too. I just signed up on the app on my phone, sent myself the money, and then I went and picked it up in cash. Pretty easy. Number 6. The second thing that you're going to want to do as soon as you get some cash at the airport is get internet service on your phone. So that brings me back to when I was talking about Airlo, the app on your phone. That allows you to get a digital SIM card on your phone. So you can get your texts and phone calls from your main line. If anyone back home is trying to text you, you can still get those from your SIM card. But also you'll have a Thai SIM that will allow you to get internet access wherever you are in Thailand. So Airlo, pretty nice, you have the digital SIM, but it's also a little bit more expensive. I think overall it was $20 or $30 for about a month of unlimited data in Thailand. But for a little bit cheaper, you can get an actual SIM card at one of the stations at the airport. I thought that would be more expensive, but it was actually cheaper. So for a month of unlimited data from one of the stalls at the airport, it was only about $10 to $15. So cheaper, but you can't get your regular text messages from your phone because you have to take your original SIM card out. So it's a flip of a coin there, which one you want to go with. Number 7. Hotels versus hostels versus Airbnbs. Depending on what area you're going to be staying in, if you're traveling alone, there's a few different factors that you want to consider. Hotels are definitely going to be the most expensive option, but the easiest. Hostels, not super comfortable, but they do have some incredible hostels in Thailand. And Airbnbs, I think, is the best value to get. You can get incredible Airbnb condos almost anywhere, well, not almost anywhere, but anywhere in the cities of Thailand. Anywhere in Phuket, Pattaya, Chiang Mai, Bangkok, there's all incredible deals on Airbnb, especially if you do monthly rates. So, hotel, more expensive, easy to book. Airbnb, you can get phenomenal properties. Like I did, you've probably seen in other videos. Rooftop pools for $300 for a whole month, or $30 to $40 a night. You get a 5-star condo versus paying $100 to $150 a night at a 5-star hotel. You get much better value on Airbnb. For hostels, if you are traveling alone, or if you and however many friends you're staying with want to meet other people, want to make friends and go out and have fun and party, or go out and explore the city together, if you want to make friends, hostels are the way to go. I barely had an entire English conversation my entire first month that I was staying in Thailand. And then when I went to Phuket, I stayed in a hotel by myself, still wasn't making any friends. And then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna try and stay in a hostel for the first time. I have never stayed in a hostel before until this point. So I got a quick little tour of the place. It seemed really nice, so I said, screw it. And I booked the hostel, which was more expensive than my hotel. I had a nice hotel room booked for only $15 a night. Big room, clean, very nice, and it was like a 10-minute walk to the beach. And then for roughly the same price, I think it was also $15 to sleep on a bunk bed at a hostel. But while I was checking into my room, I made a friend already. It was, I think, 2 hours until we could check into our room. So me and him, we hung out in the common area outside. Then we met another friend, and the three of us went and got lunch together. Then we went, checked into our room, and then we made another friend, and another, and then just more and more people started showing up to the common area of the hostel. And then it got to the point where there was a group of 17 of us going out that night, all having fun. It was incredible. So if you want to make friends, have a good time, hostels are the way to go. For the best value and get a really nice place, Airbnb. If you want a place with some amenities just for the couple of days after your flight to relax, that's what I did. I chose a hotel that had an onsen. It was really relaxing, but extremely expensive. Tip number 8. Go off the beaten path. The further you get from the touristy areas in Thailand, the cheaper and the more unique things are going to get. If you're in Phuket, especially in Patong, I think it's Bangalore Road, pretty sure it's Bangalore Road, is like the walking street of Phuket. Everything there is incredibly expensive. Everything, food, whatever you want, it's expensive. The further you get from that street, it gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. I looked up what like the highest rated restaurant in the area was, and it was like a 10-minute walk away from the walking street. And it was an incredible Turkish restaurant, some of the best food I've ever had. And it was a massive meal and only cost me like $5. And then also, the further you go from the touristy areas, you find more unique hidden gems that most people don't get to see. If you can find a Thai person that speaks a decent amount of English, which most of them do, ask them for recommendations. Where's a good place to eat? Where should I go and see? They'll give you some great recommendations. Also, if you try and eat like the local food right near Bangalore Road, a pad thai is going to cost you like $12. In most places, pad thai only costs $1 or $2. So definitely try and go a little bit further away. Number 9 is be respectful. If you're the type of person that gets aggressive when you drink, don't drink too much. You don't want to end up in Thai prison. Also, don't talk about the royal family. Just avoid it if you can. Please take a moment to like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to me. You don't want to make a scene. You don't want to end up in Thai prison. It's not a good idea. You don't want to do that. Don't instigate anything. Thai people will always back up other locals over a tourist. And you never know who knows Muay Thai. Better to be on the safe side, you know? The Thai people are extremely nice. But again, just always try and be on the safe side. You're on the other side of the world. You don't want to go to prison. And you don't want to get beat up and then go to prison. So be safe. Number 10, lastly, the most important, avoid scams. There's a decent amount of them. At the airport, one of my friends got charged $80 by a taxi to take them the 40-minute drive to their hotel that I said earlier should only cost you $8. That's 10x the normal charge of what it should be. So use Grab or Bolt. Don't use the regular taxis at the airport or at like the ferries. If you can, use a Bolt or a Grab. You will save a lot of money. Same thing with the tuk-tuks. Unless you come to an agreed price ahead of time, always pay at the end of the ride. Negotiate ahead of time, but if you can, just use Grab or Bolt. You're gonna save a lot of money. There are some phone scams where on whatever your Thai number might be, whether you get the eSIM or if you get a physical SIM card, you might get some scam links. Just don't click on any links that you get text message to you on your Thai number. I've heard that there have been some Tinder scams recently where people will basically just try and catfish you, get you to send them inappropriate things and then blackmail you. So avoid that. And then love scams. All falls down to the rules of be safe, use common sense, don't go and fall in love with someone and then go fly home across the world and then send them money. Don't send people money from across the world. It's not a good idea. I mean, maybe if you stay for a few years and you know them and you have a place together and then you have to go home for a while, maybe then send them money. But if you just meet someone for 2 weeks, fall in love with them and then go home, don't send them money. Be smart. So that's what I deem the 10 most important things to know before coming to Thailand. If you think of anything else, let me know in the comments. If you're still watching this to the end, I appreciate you. Okay, bonus 11th tip. Getting around from area to area is very simple in Thailand. From the airport, you have buses from Bangkok to Pattaya. Going from Bangkok to Chiang Mai or Bangkok to Phuket is very cheap and very easy if you want to fly. Now, there are also trains and buses that can take you there. First class train ride from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, it's about 14 hours. It'll cost you around 50 to 100 bucks. A flight normally only costs also about 50 to 100 bucks. Now, if you're going from a smaller area to another smaller area, say the Koh Islands, whatever they are, remote island down south of Phuket, all the way up to Koh Samui, another island on the other side of Thailand. Simply Google Koh Phi Phi to Koh Samui. That's it. Google it. Your options will pop right up. I think there's a website called 12Go Asia or something along those lines that'll show you the exact time and cost and provide everything for you for the ticket. So from the Koh Phi Phi Islands to Krabi, that ferry ride, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours, then a minibus ride from Krabi up to the mainland where the port is to get to Koh Samui, and then the ferry ride from the mainland to Koh Samui, another 2 hours. Only costs $25 just by Googling it. Versus the alternative, a lot of the hotels will have brochures and pamphlets to get you from point A to point B, and they're gonna be a lot more money. So Googling things and using the 12Go Asia website is going to be your best bet to save money, get the fastest travel. So yeah, tip number 11, just Google where you wanna go, from where, and see what your options are. Do a little bit of research first, see what the best option for you is instead of just taking the easiest option that's right in front of you, presented by your hotel or resort or hostel. Do a little bit of research, you'll save some money.